but we need to re-engage. We need to get building.
I think I would like to echo and reinforce what Len Abrams has said, because I think it's an important message that even at the last dialogue in Maputo came out, that the water sector cannot make decisions on its own without engaging other sectors. And I think this is the premise about which this whole water dialogue is organized by the SADC Water Division, because there's a realization that there is need to talk to the health sector, energy sector, agriculture, and that's why we have got a number of colleagues from those sectors here. I think it is very important to understand the fact that water is not a driver of economic development. I know I've heard this over and over. Water is a catalyst. The drivers are outside the water sector. And this is the message that I think we need to communicate all and realize that the drivers are outside the water sector. It's agriculture, energy, and hydropower, all these other things that we have heard about. So to plan in isolation without the other sectors, I think is not doing enough just to ourselves. Then the other thing that I would want to indicate is the issue of credibility of institutions, which relates to governance. Financing is linked to credibility of the institution and risk as well, the amount of risk. But I think the message that Len needs to take back to Washington is that within Southern Africa region, SADC realizes that IWRM is about development. And if you look at the RSAP2, it's called Integrated Water Resources Management and Development. If you look at the IWRM plans in the countries, they have been working with Ministry of Finance. The whole finance chapter of the IWRM plan for Zambia has been drafted by people from the Ministry of Finance. And colleagues will remember, those who were there in Maputo, that the permanent secretary from the Ministry of Finance in Zambia came and presented about IWRM and development and how they view it. So a voice that comes from the bank, well, it may be provocative, but I think it also tends to confuse us. Because then we begin to think, okay, so what we've been doing is wrong and we have to redo our policies. So I think the World Bank needs to rejoin the region and build on what is there. If there are some inefficiencies and deficiencies, try to improve on those than telling people to say, okay, we are doing all with this and then this is the new thing. I think overall that is the message that I wanted to say. Thank you.
Maybe repeat something that I said last night at the reception, that I would like that the non-water sector people who are here assist us in spreading the message that we need to work together as water user sectors and water influencing sectors to ensure that the role that water plays is understood. Secondly, that those from energy should remind their colleagues that hydropower projects are water projects that produce power. And these things are very basic to understanding that we can no longer anymore also have single-purpose projects. So we should go away from the idea that it's just an energy project. But it is a water project that, to the extent possible, satisfies as many water needs as possible. And thirdly, part of the confidence that we need to create, even to investors. Everybody knows that Africa is crisscrossed by shared watercourses. We need to strengthen our institutions through which we share those watercourses. And you might find that a project that is conceived within that context takes away the overemphasis on the creditworthiness of one country. If you can prove that it's a project which has benefits that are equally shared by the other countries, that brings stability to the area, where the right principles are utilized for the sharing of that water, you might find that it creates quite a lot of excitement among donors and private sector, because it therefore becomes a sustainable project.
Thank you very much indeed. We were in fact moving down the line with just final points that the experts might want to raise, and also addressing the question that has just been raised. I don't know, Mr. Phakwe, if you'd like to have a final say.
I think I'd like to end with where I began, as the story goes. it's really about people. We meet here because we are testing our brains, find out what best can we do for our people. And of course, a lot of it has been said around the table here. We need water. Water is at the base of all development. That water has to be financed, but then we agree that there's plenty of finance around. It's a good story. And I think I can't say anything more than to say maybe we should go out there and gather money and finance for the good of the people. Thank you.